to bring in ideas, and it was very amazing to see how they were able to think and the different directions that the ideas were going to. So it was an exciting opportunity and an exciting experience for me, knowing that I've been able to be part of the system before and being able to be part of the system again right here, and I'm excited for them, and we look forward to much more of that. So like I said, my career has been able to take me across these different hotspots, but right here, bringing it down to Akure, it shows us that the governments are open towards innovation for young people. And I'm excited that from the program that we did with NITDA and other subsequent programs that we're able to pull up and also bring in the attention of what it really means to be in this space. So for example, Abuja has a lot of a federal presence. You have the state, so it's also it also matches the kind of pace that innovation has across the different states. For example, one of the things that makes Ondo State really peculiar is the fact that it has over 7 federal institutions, also has 7 tertiary institutions in the state. So that means we have a lot of young people domiciled here. So it also gives us that energy to be able to drive innovation. So for example, you have in Abuja almost the same thing, but peculiar in that sense. But I'm also I'm excited that through the work that we are doing right here, it's also giving people the opportunity to be able to showcase their energy, showcase their talent, and know that they can be able to push themselves beyond different boundaries.
The digital space is about making life convenient for all of us, simplifying everything we do, from government to government, government to businesses, government to employees, and government to citizens, minimizing hardships, which is exactly what the President Muhammadu Buhari's administration wants for Nigeria and Nigerians. The Minister of Communications and Digital Economy through NITDA is committed to this cause. Special appreciation to the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Dr. Isa Ali Pantami, Director General of NITDA, Malam Kashifu Inuwa Abdullahi, and the entire management and staff of NITDA for putting this program together. Remember, you can participate on this program through our social media handles displayed right on your screens or our website www.nidda.gov.ng. See you again next time. I am Dorcas Bello, and bye for now.
Experience unlimited super-fast internet access from Entel 4G. Entel. Live more.
You can follow us on all our social media platforms. Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online. Or visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you. In your living room, office, and everywhere, anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs, and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview channel 264, or live streaming via www.visiontv.co.uk. Application for iOS or Android. Intelsat 901/332.5 degrees east. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
Hello and welcome. It's time for another interesting package of
Everything Music.
Angelina, you dey cool in my temperature. If you call, I go come deliver.
This is Talking Movies.
In times of old, the world was full of wonder.
Stop it! Welcoming you to your weekend for today.
Arise, O compatriots. It's time to use our voice.
Beyond.
This administration is a beneficiary of the strong support of Nigerian women.
President Muhammadu Buhari reaffirms commitment of his administration towards supporting and accelerating genuine efforts at achieving gender equity in the country.
The federal government will continue to engage all stakeholders to end open defecation in Nigeria.
Vice President harps on need to end open defecation.
The gift ship eliminates the known difficulties because it creates additional value by expanding and upgrading the VC ship for better reach.
And National Health Insurance Scheme launches gift ship. Hello there, welcome to NTN Network News. I am Joseph Johnson. Dr. Nuguyemi joins us from Lagos, while Mohammed Ibrahim will join us a little later from Maiduguri. Let's start in the State House because President Muhammadu Buhari has reaffirmed the commitment of his administration towards supporting and accelerating genuine efforts at achieving gender equity in the country. Consequently, the 35% national gender policy will not only be met, but exceeded across key decision-making roles in government. The President was speaking at an audience with a group of Nigerian women representatives on a solidarity visit. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
The Nigerian women representatives, led by the Minister of Women Affairs, Pauline Talen, were in the State House to confer on President Muhammadu Buhari as Special Champion of Women, Children and the Vulnerable, the He-for-She Award of Excellence in appreciation of his commitment towards moving women into the mainstream of governance.
Mr. President, we love you.
Rest in peace. I urge you to engage with our children and youth on the need for dialogue that will yield better understanding going forward. Our youth remain our most treasured asset, and it is our collective responsibility to present to them a pathway to realizing their huge potential.
President Buhari described as delightful that his administration's zero tolerance for gender-based violence, as well as declaring a state of emergency on that, has placed Nigeria ahead in providing support for survivors and bringing perpetrators to book. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the President of the Senate and Speaker, House of Representatives, have advocated inclusion of more women in governance. This was at a two-day training and advocacy workshop for federal and state female lawmakers on gender-responsive legislation in Nigeria. Johnny Aku has more.
Despite the pride of place women occupy, they are mostly excluded in governance, and this situation makes it difficult for them to contribute their quota to nation building. To change the narrative, the female lawmakers are using the program put together by the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, the United Nations Women and other partners to amplify their voice.
We
have to go by a true legislative way.
There has to be concerted effort from the government, from the executive to say, you have to do it this way. I want to see a situation where we will have like an executive order or executive bill that will mandate it for us to have an actual legislation to that effect. We need to assist one another in trying to rise up to specific positions in elective offices in Nigeria.
Women incidentally exist in an environment that is still dominated by men, leading us to the need to converse for improved representation of the women folk.
These and others underscore the importance of this capacity building workshop, also identifying areas of legislative intervention with regard to improving women's political participation.
The two-day capacity building workshop is expected to arouse the consciousness in women to participate actively in policy and decision-making processes. John Yaku, NTA News.
The federal government says Nigeria will encourage and support every move that will enhance economic cooperation with the Republic of Algeria. President Muhammadu Buhari gave the assurance while receiving a special envoy of the Algerian president. State House correspondent Adamu Sama reports that the president also granted audience to the Secretary General of African Petroleum Producers Organization.
The Algerian envoy, who is the North African country's foreign minister, Sabri Boukadoum, who brought a special message from his president, described Nigeria as the pillar of Africa. The message, he said, is geared towards enhancing consultations on what can be done together between Nigeria and Algeria. For President Muhammadu Buhari, projects like the Trans-Saharan Road, international gas pipeline, and other areas of economic cooperation would be given adequate attention for the good of the two countries and their peoples. The president stressed the need for peace, tranquility, and security in African countries, saying unless the environment is secured, it can't be managed effectively. In a similar development, President Buhari welcomed the decision of the African Petroleum Producers Organization to site the headquarters of the African Energy Investment Corporation in Abuja. Exchanging views with the Secretary General of the organization, Nigeria's Dr. Umar Farouk, the president pledged full support of the country in ensuring the successful takeoff of the project. He said the peculiarities of the challenges facing African oil producers require them to come together under the association to share experiences and solve their problems collectively. The president said the growing clamor for a reduction in the use of fossil fuels notwithstanding, countries like Nigeria needs to produce more oil to feed the petrochemical industry and create jobs. President Buhari used the opportunity to urge the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, to consider the weight of the responsibility of Nigeria with 200 million people and severe deficit in infrastructure when sharing oil production cut. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timothy Silva, informed the President that a proposed energy investment cooperation to be started in Abuja will start with $1 billion from the Afro-Exim Bank and is expected to bring employment and other benefits to Nigeria. The Secretary General of the African Petroleum Producers Organization, Dr. Umar Farouk, expressed the hope that members of the organization will surmount the challenges posed by COVID-19 as well as that of receding fossil fuel use as a result of the climate change treaties signed by member states and other nations. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
In the meantime, Nigeria and Algeria are working out strategies of reaching new heights to achieve the 50-year vision of an Africa that Africans want in terms of prosperity and more modest collaboration to make the country free of open defecation and attain the 2025 target. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo was encouraging stakeholders as the country commemorates the first anniversary of the national campaign against open defecation, tagged Clean Nigeria, Use the Toilet. WASH correspondent Musbah Dan Wahab reports.
the logo of the Clean Nigeria End Open Defecation campaign.
November 19, 2019 was the official expression of commitment to end the practice of 47 million Nigerians that has adversely put Nigeria in global sports, open defecation. A year later, Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo again continues from where he left off the national campaign. COVID-19 slowdown notwithstanding, it's got a marginal progress to report as 22 more LGAs have cleaned up their terrains of open defecation, and the competition is on course amongst the states to attain the national target of 2025, 5 years ahead of a sustainable development agenda.
We reiterate commitment to support subnational level initiatives towards ending open defecation and improving access to wash services for the populace. To this end, I wish to commend state governments who have taken the initiative to develop their state-specific action plans for the wash sector, with a declaration of a state of emergency.
In recognition of their commitment, the ODF local government areas will be prioritized for water supply interventions under PWASH in accordance with the established program protocol.
We are partnering with NYSC.
Still on the line to deliver its promise of getting 2 million Nigerians in diaspora to build a toilet each in the country, the organized private sector in WASH has again launched a campaign tagged Flush It to support the drive. The certified open defecation-free LGAs were honored, and NTA is one of the organizations recognized for their role in the national campaign.
Any program the government brings up for the benefit of the populace, NTA is always at the forefront of propagation, of enlightenment and promotion.
We are the only state that has 10 local governments that will declare open kasha.
Marginal achievements or beats and champions made in the campaign against open defecation in Nigeria. However, the country remains the world capital of this practice. And so there is a need for a re-energized commitment by stakeholders to confine the unwanted reputation in the Soke way. In Abuja, Muspal and Wahab, NC News.
In pursuance of its statutory mandate to provide financial access for quality health care for all Nigerians, the National Health Insurance Scheme has launched a group, individual and family social insurance program, GiveShip. Elizabeth Amorio reports that the scheme is geared towards the attainment of universal health care coverage for all.
As the federal government works to attain SDG 3 Target 8 before 2030, Nigerians are soon to enjoy a wider coverage for health insurance in the country. This follows the launching of a new service known as GiveShip. The group Individual and Family Social Insurance Program has been designed to provide coverage opportunity to Nigerians to be taken up and paid for by groups, individuals and families not covered by NHIS platforms. This initiative, the Minister of Health says, it is an outcome of far-reaching reforms within the NHIS to significantly increase the fiscal space for healthcare services.
The GiveShip eliminates the known difficulties because it creates additional value by expanding and upgrading the VC ship for better reach.
The National Health Insurance Authority Act. It won't be NHIS, it will be NHIA, but it's an authority that will cover all schemes.
The program is geared towards the actualization of the presidential mandate to revitalize the health insurance scheme.
Some of the appealing features of this program include the inbuilt mechanism to guard against moral hazard, to guard against adverse selection, as well as allowing room for organizations and people in diaspora to contribute their quota towards attainment of universal health coverage.
The new service will leverage on the ENHIS framework.
For example, this new program has an opportunity for you and me to go back to our communities and say that we want to cover 3 people, 5 people, 10 people, and it has a role whereby an international organization can come and say, we want to cover this group of people and we'll pay premium for them. And we have opportunity whereby even group in the mosque or in the churches, they can come and pay premium on behalf of their members and be entitled to services. It also has a room for people in diaspora to signify some of their relatives, kith and kin, and pay premium for them and get services.
Is that, would you say that's the, because we understand that it's broken down into levels. Is what you just explained, are they the levels? Could you just talk us through the different levels?
Yes, there are 3 levels.
Okay.
We call it GIF-ship, GIF, group, individual, and family. This program is actually a reform of the former program that is called Voluntary Social Health Insurance or Vital Health Social Health Insurance, where individuals come to the National Health Insurance Scheme, pay $15,000 and get the range of services provided by the National Health Insurance Scheme. But unfortunately, the program was terribly abused. It has been bedeviled by what we call moral hazards. Moral hazard and adverse selection. Adverse selection is when you know that you are a high risk. For example, a pregnant woman who knows that she is going to have a cesarean section. She will register today knowing fully that in 2 weeks she will get cesarean section and pay $15,000. After 2 weeks she will be operated upon and she disappear. And the cost of the operation might be too high, but she will benefit and disappear. So there were a lot of complaints and the program was getting collapsed. So we have to resuscitate and rejuvenate it. In this arrangement, you cannot come alone. You will come in group of 3. As an individual, you come, you pay for 3 people.
Okay.
2 other people, 2 other dependents, biologically dependent plus you.
Yes.
So you will pay $45,000. If you decide to say you alone, you will be in it, you pay $45,000. If you come with 2 other people, you pay still $45,000. There is some level of cross-subsidization in that arrangement. Then as a family, the second level, you come as a family. Yourself, your wife, and 2 additional biological dependents.
Yes.
So you pay $60,000, 15,000 naira each per annum.
Okay.
So you are entitled to cover with these 3 dependents of yours. Beyond that, up to the level of 9 members of the family, from 4 to 9. So these are the family.
All right.
Beyond that, you have a group. Any social group of people that are up to 10 can come with a fee of 15,000 naira and join the scheme simultaneously under that arrangement. So there is a room for an individual for 5,000, a family at the rate of 60,000, but there is additional 15,000 for every. From the 4th family, you continue to increase the payment by 15,000.
Okay.
Similarly for the group.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm afraid we're running out of time, but you've done justice to the questions already, and thank you for explaining all that.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right. So I've been speaking with Executive Secretary NHIS Mohammed Nasir Sambo. Let's just take some messages now. Stay with us. More news shortly.
We dey catchy feelings, we dey cry.
Amaka, ani kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀?
Try. If you do better thing, you go thrive, mama.
Leave that house now. Amaka. Stay where you are. You are going nowhere. Amaka!
Blockbuster movies like this, series and much more. Download the Airtel TV app.
Mr. Announcer, you know tell them say this film is still there on top of fire. And you say me, we still the shoot, so.
Download the Airtel TV app from Apple and Android Play Store. Airtel TV by Airtel, the smartphone network.
Everybody listen up. Let me tell you something. Better service don't lie. Don't just sit down and look. Star 990 hash. Now he be the code. To send money, it done days. Anywhere story. This is your bank, now you can do more. 9 PSB, now it be the way. Star 990.
Introducing 9 PSB. Open an account right away with your phone number and instantly start to send and receive money by dialing star 990 hash. You can even pay your bills and also enjoy more opportunities to get your cash back through any of our nationwide agents near you.
Stop it, Kenny! Kenny, can you please take a picture?
Liverpool are unstoppable at home, but will they carry that form on the road against the Seagulls of Brighton? This Saturday, it's Brighton versus Liverpool on the Premier League Live, showing on the NTA network from 1 p.m.
The Premier League Live is brought to you by Access Bank, Baba Ijebu, Lipton Tea, and Close Up.
You're still watching NTN Network News with me, Joseph Johnson. The Ondo State government and its major partners have appealed to the people of Ayetoro, a riverine community in the state, that the ocean surge ravaging parts of the area will soon be put to check. The State Commissioner for Environment, Funsho Esson, stated this while reacting to the extent of damage to property and other means of livelihood caused by the sea incursion in Ayetoro community. Olubukola Aduo reports.
Ayetoro, an island community in the Nigerian local government area of Ondo State, was founded in 1947. Ayetoro has been in the news lately as a troubled town of about 12,000 people ravaged by a rampaging Atlantic Ocean that has almost eaten up about 3/4 of the community.
The devastating effect is happening almost every day.
The streets of the community are now filled with debris from the ocean that has destroyed homes, businesses, and schools. The structure of the school is what gives the community a major concern, and that is why elders of the town are appealing for help.
SOS, save our soul.
We have nowhere to go. We have no boats. We have nothing.
Ondo State government says a number of steps have been taken in conjunction with the federal government and relevant international institutions to rescue Ayetoro and its people from further destruction by the ocean.
The state government have been able to secure some funds through the intervention of the World Bank, and that the money, even though it's not enough, that the state government is going to support, and the federal government is willing to do so also.
The resident expressed hope that the various efforts being made by the government will yield positive results. From Ayetoro in Ilaja local government area of Ondo State, Olubukola Aduwo, NTA News.
The Senate Committee on the Independent National Electoral Commission has screened the presidential nominee for the chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakubu. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports that the nominee is optimistic of an improved general elections in 2023, as he emphasized that the Electoral Commission will deepen the use of technology in Nigeria's electoral process.
A solidarity visit to the National Assembly by a group just a few hours to the commencement of the screening of Professor Mahmood Yakubu by the Senate as INEC chairman for a second term. His reappointment was the reason for the group's visit, describing it as the right choice by President Muhammadu Buhari as they called on the Senate to take cognizance of the achievements of the INEC chairman nominee.
Ever since Professor Mahmood Yakubu came into INEC, there have been a lot of reforms. If not for anything, consider electronic transmission, electronic voting, and transmission of result from polling unit to central server.
1 hour later, Professor Mahmood was at the Senate Committee on INEC to defend his reappointment for a final term of 5 years. Having reeled out some of the achievements of the commission under his watch, the University of Oxford research scholar listed his plans going forward and how the National Assembly can assist, such as the quick passage of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill by the first quarter of 2021.
Because we know there are so many other lingering problems that need to be done. What do you intend to do before you finally go out from the election institution? But the key
to success is the amendment to the electoral legal framework. And I'm confident that the Senate and the House will work expeditiously.
He observed that the postponement of the 2019 general election was the most challenging moment in his first term. The committee harped on the need for a review of political parties' registration process and improvement of the welfare of staff of the commission to avoid inducement.
These are the people that goes for election, and they could easily be motivated during election days. But if their welfare is improved, I'm sure they will be strong and continue to service well.
Professor Abdullahi Abduzuru was also screened as INEC National Commissioner representing the Northwest. He replaces Abubakar Ahmed Nahuche, who resigned from the position. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTN News.
And President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, has granted audience to the South African High Commissioner to Nigeria, where they resolved to strengthen old institutions and establish new ones that will improve trade and socio-cultural relations of both countries. Senator Lawan observed that the cooperation of Nigeria and South Africa is very significant to the progress of the continent and therefore should not be taken for granted. He emphasized the importance of reinvigorating Nigeria-South Africa Binational Commission.
National Commission is a very good thing for us to promote that, because we shouldn't take anything for granted. We should.
Pandemic in the country. Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele, at a media briefing in Lagos, said COVID in response to the EndSARS protest will provide 100 billion naira to procure equipment and rehabilitate 44 destroyed police stations in affected states. Abalade Salami reports.
COVID set up by the Bankers Committee, Central Bank of Nigeria, the deposit money banks, and private sector is to assist in raising capital in support of the federal government to address global health crisis. So far, the committee has raised the sum of 39 billion naira from Nigerians and corporate organizations. Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele, while analyzing the role of the committee members, said the fund was used to support 3 key areas, including medical facilities and equipment, while 39 isolation centers were fully equipped across the country to the tune of 4 billion naira. 9 billion naira, according to him, was expended on PCR test kits.
As a result, the Bankers Committee and critical stakeholders in the private sector, under the auspices of the COVID Alliance, held a series of meetings towards developing measures that will support government's efforts in rebuilding confidence in our nation's economy.
On the food relief program, the sum of 28 billion naira was spent to procure COVID palliative in the form of food items to 1.7 million households, equivalent to 8 million Nigerians.
Look at it today. You imagine if we had gone out to buy food items worth of 28.7 billion. Actually, prices would have doubled. So we did not really distort prices in the market.
Members of the committee, while reacting to the aftermath of the EndSARS protests, concluded that commercial banks are to extend relief materials through concessionary loans to affected businesses and firms.
And I just want to pledge and urge all people, young people who have those degrees, to reach out to their respective banks to try and see how they can get funding.
In addressing youth restiveness, COVID pledged to provide technical and vocational education to more than 4 million youths in the next 5 years. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
And that's it from here. Let's now take a break. Network News continues shortly.
This is my time.
You are not going to avoid it.
This time is precious. Don't let mosquitoes spoil the fun. Relax and enjoy the moments that matter. Use Baygon fast-acting insect-killing protection for your home. Baygon, take back your home. S.C. Johnson, a family company.
There There are no small beginnings, only stepping stones to bigger things. That's our philosophy at Premium Pension. And so no matter the size of your money, our team of expert fund managers invested wisely and actively to make sure your money is always working as hard as you do. After all, the things we're building today can help shape your future in the long run. And with the right partner by your side, the one thing you're sure to do is soar. Premium Pension. Active today, premium tomorrow.
Liverpool are unstoppable at home, but will they carry that form on the road against the Seagulls of Brighton? This Saturday, it's Brighton versus Liverpool on the Premier League Live, showing on the NTA network from 1 p.m.
The Premier League Live is brought to you by Access Bank, by Jebu, Lipton Tea, and Close Up.
This is NTN Network News, and we are back in Abuja. The federal government has reiterated its determination to use international cooperation to stop the illicit exportation and importation of cultural goods. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed stated this while receiving an Ife terracotta antique from the Kingdom of Netherlands in Abuja. Anthony Forson reports.
The Ife terracotta was stolen from Nigeria. The smuggler had an escape route through Ghana.
Ajijola Nobi community, one of the many rural communities in Ede, Osun State, enjoys good road network, but for many years suffered epileptic power supply.
So sometimes we may have light, but before getting to, let's say, 10 to 15 minutes, it will be off again.
The intervention of Rural Electrification Agency by providing 300 kVA transformer, 2 high-tension poles and 10 low-tension poles under grid extension electrification project has changed the narrative of the community positively.
The ultimate goal is for community members to make the best use of the infrastructure. I therefore urge the people of this community to explore all possibilities to impact their lives and improve their sources of livelihood.
We are really enjoying it. Even before, after of today, we are happy.
Similar projects are being inaugurated across the country. From Ede, Femi Afariogun, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari congratulates former military governor of Kano State and Nigeria's High Commissioner to Zimbabwe, retired Colonel Sani Bello, on his 70th birthday. President Buhari joins family members, friends and associates of the retired military officer in celebrating the milestone, signposted with a long meritorious service in the army, thereby playing a pivotal role in the development of the country. In a statement, the president congratulates Colonel Bello for his entrepreneurial initiative, which has created career opportunities for many young Nigerians and skills that have been acquired in oil and gas construction and telecommunications. The Federal Road Safety Corps is not deterred by the wanton destruction of its property by the NSAS protesters. The Corps Marshal, Dr. Boboye Oyemi, buttressed this while on assessment visit to Delta. Telma Eliogo reports.
Dr. Boboye, who is on assessment tour of affected commands across the South-South and South-East region, says rather than being discouraged by the attacks on FRSC by the NSAS protesters, the Corps will double efforts in ensuring the safety of lives and property on the highways. He encouraged his men to gear up for better service delivery to the masses.
We continue to do our work. We are back on the road already. And for this corridor, because of the end of the year, traffic has already picked up much earlier than expected. So we have deployed to the maximum capacity the personnel now.
Thanking the Delta State government for the promise to assist in rebuilding the destroyed property, the FRSC boss says compensation may be given to those whose vehicles were burnt within their office. 27 FRSC petrol vehicles were completely destroyed, while 14 were vandalized across the country. In Asaba, Thelma Eliog, NTA News.
Our report reaching us now indicates that a new date has been fixed for National Sports Festival, January 3rd to 17th, subject to adherence to COVID-19 protocol. The decision was arrived at after a virtual meeting between PTF, NCDC and Minister of Youth and Sports, Sunday Dare. Yodeji Makinde reports that the minister had earlier reassured on the festival.
Minister of Youth and Sports Development Sunday Dare says the National Sports Festival has not been postponed indefinitely, but assures stakeholders are brainstorming with the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 before the fiesta is held in Edo State.
We're just trying to decide on the date that makes sure that both our athletes and the conditions put in place can be met and fulfilled.
Meanwhile, a convergence of administrators and experts have called for improved welfare for athletes and infrastructure management at a colloquium to mark the 2020 FCT Swan Week in Abuja with the theme, New Sports Policy, Emerging Opportunities for the Sporting Media in a Changing World.
A lot of these players were discovered during the National Youth Games. Today, they are now beginning to be champions in their clubs.
In basketball, Nigeria's D-Tigers secured a 76-56 points victory over South Sudan in their first game in Group D of 2021 Men's Afro-Basket qualifiers ongoing in Kigali. Caleb Agada led the team with 16 points as Nigeria next play hosts Rwanda on Saturday before taking on Mali on Sunday. Tributes have continued to pour in for football legend Diego Maradona, who died of cardiac arrest at the age of 60 Wednesday evening. Leading the global tributes to the late Argentine great is another legend, Pelé, who hopes to play football together in the sky with Maradona. Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, sports clubs, national associations, regional confederations have joined thousands who are mourning after his remains arrived at the presidential palace in Buenos Aires, Argentina. With sports update, Ayodeji Makinde, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari joins the academia home and abroad in mourning the passing of the renowned scholar, writer and publisher Dr. Peter Eke, whose research and publications on African politics and history continue to provoke new insights on issues that shape development. President Buhari sends condolences to family members, friends and professional colleagues of the scholar who contributed to educational development in Nigeria and Africa. The president says the university